And welcome back, my fellow lost souls, to Let's Play Silent Hill 3. For the last normal video, we are once again in Alessa's room, both in this series and just in this series of videos. And there are a few more things to observe in this room, but we're gonna have to come back here anyway since we need the items to complete a puzzle within the room. So may as well just observe all that when we actually come back to it. Heading back into the hall, there's this door over here, which we can actually go through, and this connects to another critical area. There are a couple of super closers in here, but just run straight to the door on the other side of the room. You can get past them no problem. Now, on the return trip, that room's going to be a little bit more dicey, but not anything too bad. Once again, we can hear the girl kind of sniffling and stuff, and we see the bloody footprints. We gotta wait for those to reach their destination, but one more time, you can see Valtiel over here, and, some interesting imagery you got there, man. But we'll just leave him to his business. He's just cranking those valves. Anyway, once the steps complete their path, Heather will once again be able to interact with a piece of the scenery. In this case, this wall. You are not able to interact with the wall until the footprints actually reach their destination. I think, once again, if you just enter and exit the room enough times, eventually the footprints will just reach their destination without having to wait for them to get there. But, we had stuff to look at still. Hey, another familiar room here. This is, of course, the hospital room for Alessa we found in the basement's basement from Silent Hill 1. Let's take a look at this book here. There's something stuck in this book. We got the Fool Tarot card, and this book. I feel like I have to read it, but at the same time, I don't want to. Aglaophytis. Red liquid or crystals resembling blood. According to the Kabbalah, the name is taken from an herb with the power to dispel evil spirits. It is said to grow in Arabian deserts. It may be vaporized or applied as a poultice to guard against demons. It is powerful, but as it is rare, it is extremely difficult to obtain. If you remember from the first game, Aglaophytis was the special serum that Kaufman made that was able to counteract the parasite related to Alessa. Specifically, it also caused the incubus to burst forth from her when tossed onto her. Wonder why we found that book here, though. It's a picture of me when I was 7. I look bored and sad. Well, of course I do. I was always like that back then. Heather has kind of embraced the whole multiple beings aspect of herself. There we get our final ampule for the game, which is going to come in handy later, although probably not. Actually, we only really need 2 more, but 24 years ago, Dahlia used me to summon God. God was in my womb, but I couldn't deliver her. Then I was shut up here in this hospital room. I stayed here until Dad helped me out when I was 14. God ate away at me from within, driving me mad with suffering. There I was wishing I could just die and be done with it, but I went on living that nightmare for 7 years. Looking at this bed just reminds me of those awful days, and I don't want to remember them, because I'm not Alessa anymore, but Alessa is still me. I'm really not trying to deny it or anything. Yeah, it's a bit of a head screw that she's dealing with here. But that's neither here nor there. The tarot card and the ampule were the main things we wanted. A couple insane cancers spawn there, but they're pretty easy to get past. Now there are 3 super closers in the room. One thing to be mindful of is when they're crowded up like that, some of them will attempt to punch at you, but some of them will attempt to punch at you, but at least one of them usually goes for the side-to-side arm swing, which is pretty easy to get tagged by and take a bunch of damage. Heading back out into this hall, and I have left my my flashlight on. That might be a problem. Hopefully not. Okay, so let's see. Like I said in the previous video, if the pendulums happen to fly onto the platform, like they have now, of course, they are such a headache to deal with. Yep, there we go. So we tagged a bunch of damage onto that one. Unfortunately, could not take it out. The submachine gun is probably the best way to deal with these guys, but you need to make sure the entire clip connects with them, which is a little tricky to do. Looking for some healing items here. A little tricky to do because they are not perfectly level with Heather when she starts firing. You have to aim up. Anyway, let me just go over our inventory here, make sure I'm not missing anything. So we've got 3 cards so far. Right. Remember that I was leaving this area for later. We need to go this way now. Heading into this room. Just got a scraper hanging out right here. And missed a couple shots there, but it's not a big deal. Because we bullet adjusted the ammunition earlier, we got plenty of submachine gun bullets for these guys. Main reason we're heading this way is because we need the tarot card in this morgue area. A corpse wrapped in some vinyl type bag. This crazy mixed up world has got me used to the strangest things. Easy for me to say, they're still totally disgusting. I feel like I'm gonna go crazy myself sooner or later. I might even already be crazy. Who knows? Ah, come on, Heather. You're being crazy. Okay, well, maybe not the best way to word that, but yeah, I'm sure what you're thinking there is absolutely nothing. This one's looking a little nasty. The door's open. Inside, there's someone wrapped in a bag. Maybe. No, they're definitely dead. Yeah, let's not put too much thought into that. Here we can get the last pack of shotgun shells in the game. You know what? Let's, since I haven't actually done this before, let's just test out shooting scrapers from the front with the shotgun. See if they're able to block the shots. The missionary definitely can, but I'm not sure about the scrapers. I've never actually tried it. Inside this room, oh, this looks familiar. This is, like Harry's room back at the apartment. You find 2 stun gun batteries, the last bit of stun gun ammunition in the game. So, if you've been using a lot of that, well, there you go. You got a couple, or, 8 more charges to use. Not that I've been using the stun gun at all. This room looks just like Dad's. It's more than just a resemblance. Dad's not sleeping in the bed, though. And can we get that journal? There's a musty diary on the bed. This writing is this Dad's diary? Why would it be here? I sometimes have the sense, even now, that the girl is a reincarnation of Alessa. I don't worry about it much now. That's all forgiven. You were unloved, Cheryl. Or was that Alessa? Now Cheryl is Alessa again. No matter whose reincarnation she may have been, that girl was my most beloved treasure. But that name was a mistake. At the time, I thought of her only as a replacement for my lost Cheryl. When she knows the truth, will she feel bad? That's what worries me. Thanks, Dad. So I was Alessa after all. But I do have just a trace of one more memory left. I haven't forgotten my sweet and gentle mother. So yeah, just more documentation pointing to that the Heather name is just an alias and that her name is actually Cheryl still. Okay, so can I... Oh dear. This is not going well. I just want to... Okay, so does not look like it. Oh, no, he can block it, Looks like he takes a little bit of damage. That was a complete waste of our shotgun ammo, but I really don't care, because we're not going to be using the shotgun otherwise. Now that I've tested that out, let's go back to the submachine gun, though I don't really have any plans to use this otherwise. Now that we've gotten the tarot card from the morgue area, there is one last area we need to go to, and one more card to get. The brass key that we picked up in Alessa's room is what will allow us to get that. You may have remembered back in the hallway with the confessional booth, there was that very distinct lock on that one door. Well, this brass key we collected goes to that lock, so gotta do a little bit of backtracking. And there's one very, very annoying room that we have to go through on our way back, so hopefully I can get through it without taking any damage, but that's gonna depend on how efficiently I move through it. Turn light off so we don't have to worry about prematurely aggroing anything. The insane cancers are still lurking in this hallway, so be mindful of them as you come in. Fortunately, they're back on the ground once again, so gives you an opportunity to get past them while they are still inactive. Heading into this room, I'm just gonna say right now, there's 2 scrapers and 2 slurpers. Very annoying room. You just immediately want to turn left and go into the other door. Hopefully with the light off, you can get through it before they have a chance to aggress on you. Let's use the brass key here. As you can see, the church is becoming a little visceral at this point. Now heading into this hallway, hey, it's Valtiel again. You see an insane cancer over there. We can actually go into this doorway, though. Now, the insane cancer, if you walk up to him and aggro him, he's actually very difficult to get through without killing, because he's just completely blocking up that entire hallway. And if you aggro him, a scraper will also spawn behind you, so be mindful of that. But, hey, this is Midwich Elementary. And this desk. Go home. Drop dead. Thief. This used to be Alessa's. I mean, this was my desk once upon a time. So yeah, a little throwback to the first game once again. It's a very similar room to where we found in Nowhere. And hey, it's a wolf. This is a picture of a wolf. It looks like a dog, but it says wolf and everything, so... Yeah, who's to argue with the artistry here? Hey, what's this document here? There's a ratty old notebook on the podium. Oops. And there's a letter stuck in here, too. Let's see. There's a girl named Alessa in my class. If your memory is any good, you may remember her. She's the one I said they called a witch. Most likely her mother is abusing her. I've never seen her come in without some sort of scrape or bruise. Her expression is pitifully dark for a 6-year-old. Something like this may not be so uncommon. Rather than coming up with pointless ideas, it's best just to watch and wait. But isn't there something I can do to help? I'm considering consulting a lawyer, but I do have my reservations. That's why I thought I'd ask you, my friend, for your opinion first. K. Gordon. So the lovely Kim Gordon, who was also the bassist for Sonic Youth, moonlighted as a teacher in Silent Hill, and was quite concerned about the abusive plight that Alessa found herself in, but also found herself unable to act without any clear evidence. Now, heading back into this room, the main reason we went through that classroom was to get around the insane cancer. This door right here just leads into a room filled with like 6 scrapers or so. Massive room where you have a high chance of getting surrounded by them, so we're not going to go in there. Inside this room, though, this room is not critical, but there's a couple things of interest in here. First order of business, let's look at the table. What are these letters? No, maybe a bunch of suggestions? People are starting to voice their dissatisfaction about Father Vincent using the organization's money for his own personal benefit. I've also heard rumors that Father Vincent has been extorting donations from some followers. Is he really the right person for such a position? I'm in no place to deny all he's done to make the organization grow. Even though we believe in God, if there were some sort of gathering, shouldn't we be valued not for our limited talents or our talkativeness, but for the depth of our faith? LS. Interesting, but little, bit of backstory for Vincent there. Apparently he was instrumental in getting the order out to a wider audience, but they were well aware that he had more selfish motives for doing so. Anyways, we've got a tape player over here, and, well, we've got a cassette tape. Why don't we just pop this in and see what's on it?
Do you know about what happened here 17 years ago? You've been here a long time. You must have heard some details.
A group of pagans, blinded by earthly desires, spit in the very face of God. They tried to use the seal of Metatron to prevent God's awakening. But God drove the unbelievers away and threw them into the abyss. But due to their wickedness, God was unable to be born properly. And so, she has slumbered ever since, in the womb of the Holy Mother, until the time of the awakening. That's all that I know.
That's it, huh? Well, thanks.
Father Vincent, I heard that the Holy Mother has been found. Is it true?
Alessa has been found? Did Claudia say that?
Yes.
Then it must be true. Her sight rarely fails her.
Bless the Lord.
Maybe it's because of her great faith. But I could never be like her. I wouldn't want to.
Nor I. The truth is, Sister Claudia frightens me a little.
Well now, let's both show our faith by forgetting about this little talk, okay?
Yes, but does that mean this land will finally be the home of eternal paradise?
If God wills it, my sister. If God wills it.
So it looks like even within the Order itself, with people who weren't just self-serving con men like Vincent, Claudia's extremist mindset kind of alienated her a bit, which probably goes a long way to explaining why most of the Order members we've seen so far have just been monsters. Heading into this room over here is the thing that we actually need to collect. You don't need to play the cassette tape, it's just an optional bonus scene if you want more backstory for Vincent. Here is the final card we need to get. This is Claudia's room, so it's only fitting that we get the High Priestess card here. And there's a couple other things to check out here. The name Claudia Wolf is written very small on the cover. Looks like this is her diary. November 10. She didn't die then. She was born. I knew that for a fact. But then, why haven't I found her yet? They were supposed to need her power to build paradise, for the happiness of the people. She was supposed to be reborn for that. I'd really like to see her. November 14. Read the Book of Praise. I want to thank Father for lending me such an invaluable book. I found what I had been searching for in there, to awaken God, but it's much too cruel. Will I be able to pull it off when I see her? November 16. I was free all day, so I read A Modern History of Refugees and Young Slaves, Child Exploitation. I don't want to be a mere bystander in this world. I can't do anything now, though, and that's what's hard. So, it looks like Claudia, perhaps maybe at the end of the day, she does have some noble reasonings for doing this. It's just her actions are more than a little cuckoo. Can't examine her bed, but there is a card here. There's an old birthday card on the desk. So she was still hanging on to this. To little Claudia, happy 6th birthday! I love you as if you were my real sister. Here's to you. So, looks like there is a bit of a deeper personal connection between Claudia and Alessa than we would ever be able to glean just from her actions, though of course she definitely does seem to have a deep respect for Alessa. Not enough to prevent her from suffering, though. Alright, heading on into this way. Like I said, as long as we do not activate the Insane Cancer, we don't have to worry about anything hassling us on the way back out of that hallway. And once again, that's why I went to the classroom, just to avoid activating that guy. Now we have to get through this room once again, and the camera was put in a bad spot. Okay, oof, that actually was really close. I almost got surrounded there. The Insane Cancers are here, but fortunately, huddled up there, blocking each other, we're able to get through this just fine. Now, we have to get back to the lower floor, and once again, brave the pendulum platform. I've been having absolutely terrible luck with this platform in my recent playthroughs. Or in a lot of the test runs that I've done, I haven't had to deal with the pendulums flying on there at all, but pretty much every recent playthrough I've done, also it's getting more than a little visceral in the church right now, but in all the recent playthroughs I've done, they've just loved to fly onto the platform, and it is so obnoxious to deal with them. One other option you can have for dealing with them if you don't have submachine gun ammo, and this doesn't kill them, but you can blast at them with the silenced handgun, and then immediately throw up your block, and they'll do a sort of charging attack at you. Whoop. Hello. Oh no, got hit from behind there. Alright, let's just run. Be very, very careful when you're on the edges there, though. If you get hit while you are by the edge, you will be plunged into the depths of the church, and it is not a fun time, and it often means you have to redo a large chunk of the game, which happened to me at least once in my 10-star playthrough. I was annoyed by it. Now that we've accomplished everything, though, let's give a more thorough search through Alessa's room. There are playing cards on the floor. I used to play a lot. I remember that little Claudia always had a hard time winning. That made her cry. So, even Claudia was a child at one point. Hey, another notepad. Memo book. Something's written inside. She's just beyond this door. I don't know how, but I can sense it. But she's not the only one there. I sense the presence of something extremely dangerous, even sickening, or maybe what they call God. Nevertheless, I will open the door. Enough of this little idle chit-chat. God, I'm not, but I fully intend to save her. No, them. The last entry was written some 17 years ago. Looks like Dad wrote this too. So, that is the final save that Harry made in the game. My clothes from when I was 7. They don't fit me now. Good thing, too. Not really sure what Heather means by that. Here we got the door, got scribbling on the floor. For some reason, she always drew monsters like this when she was alone. She used to draw with Claudia, too. A nice daddy and mommy and a fun school. A happy world where everyone smiled and laughed all day long. In short, everything we never had. Sad thing to think about. Hey, that's Cheryl's notebook. It's even got the picture of Harry on it. This is my sketchbook from 17 years ago. On the front cover, here is a picture of Dad. Really awful work. What's this doing here? I had a dream. In my dream, I opened a door. But was that really me? I had a different name. 5 are true and 4 are lies, and there are some fibs mixed in with the truth. That's 'cause it's scary to write only the truth, but dreams are like lies, after all. So this one's a little bit interesting, so let's just take a look at that memo once again. This is actually remarkably easy for the final puzzle, at least in terms of what you have to do, and let me see, where is it? Dad's diary, cult symbol, school desk scribbles. Yeesh, so many. We got so many memos right at the end here. Here we go, sketchbook. So yeah, we take a look at that, and we have to suss out which are the truth and which are lies. Now, if you're looking closely, you may notice that some of these line up with Roman numerals. So we have to suss out the ones that, if we remove the lies, will give us accurate Roman numerals that tie to the cards that we have. And let's just take a look at those cards real quick. So, we've got the High Priestess card. We've got the Hanged Man card, and as you can see, it's got the Roman numerals on them. We've got the Moon. We have the Fool, which has the 0 on it. And, of course, we've got one that was made up for this game, the Eye of the Night, which Heather expresses her doubt about it. But if you start removing the false letters and getting rid of the options that give you Roman numerals that obviously do not correlate to the door, you'll find that the Eye of the Night card goes here, the Moon card goes here, Hangman goes over here, the Fool goes right in the center, the only section of letters that has 0 in it, and the High Priestess goes right here, and the door is unlocked. We're gonna save our progress real quick, make our final save of the game. And we're going to want to equip our handgun, and we're going to be using the handgun for the final boss, so it's a good thing we have those 150 bullets, and we're also going to be making heavy use of the katana. It's going to be a fight where we're constantly switching between the two weapons, which honestly really makes me wish there was a quick switching mechanic, but there's still also a little bit we have to see before we can get into the final boss fight, so let's get through this really creepy hallway here. You can really tell we're closing in on the ending of the game. And all the way to the end of this room, the large double doors await us. Let's throw them open and meet our destiny.
What do I want? Well, for the two of you to die, that would be nice. Then I could relax.
When did you stop believing in God? God lives. Just look around you.
But I do believe in her. In my own way. I fear her, and I adore her. But I haven't lost my mind like you. You think that this is the work of God? Isn't this all nothing more than your own personal nightmare? Just like Alessa 17 years ago? If this really is the work of God, then I'd say she has lousy taste.
You mock God? Traitor. You will go to hell.
Not that again! Who do you think you are, claiming to know God's will?
Go home, Vincent.
Home. This church is my home. I built it with my power. The power of money that you view with such scorn. Although I admit that this atrocious scenery is all yours.
If you continue to get in my way,
Did you kill me? Well. Well. The guest of honor has arrived. Let's get this party started. Heather, go ahead and kill this crazy bitch. This demon who claims to speak for God. The time has come. You can kill her now.
you'll go to hell!
What did you do?
Nothing important.
You're not going to run? I guess this is the end.
No, the beginning. As Vincent said, the time has come. Alessa, I'm saddened that you didn't agree to this on your own. But I thank you for nurturing God with all the hate in your heart. It's time for mankind to be released from the shackles of sin which bind them.
But a God born from hatred can never create a perfect paradise.
Happy people can be so cruel. Is it so hard to believe that sympathy could be born out of pain and suffering? Why do you reject God's mercy? Why do you cling to this corrupt world? You know that only God can save us.
And save you too? Happy ending? I'd rather go to hell.
No, I don't expect to be saved. And that's fine. Alessa, my dearest. For the pain that I've caused you, I deserve no mercy. Even if it was to save mankind. It was too deep a sin. It was hubris for me to try to hasten the day of her arrival. Sacrifices were made. And those are my sins.
If you feel so guilty about it, why don't you go to hell? Heather, use the seal.
Vincent? The seal of Metatron?
Now your stupid dream is over.
Oh, that's just a piece of junk. What do you think you can do with that? Do you really think it can kill God? I'm sorry to see you fell for my father's foolishness.
What?
You're pathetic. But God loves even you. Now, Alessa, there's nowhere else to run. witness to it. Judgment Day. Alessa?
Shut your stinking mouth, bitch!
So, something that isn't immediately obvious that you can do in this scene is that you can look at Vincent's body. Vincent's dead. I hated him too, but it doesn't mean this makes me happy. So, yes, why couldn't I have stopped Claudia? So yes, the Seal of Metatron, complete red herring. Vincent's efforts in directing us to that were for nothing. Now, there is a very specific thing you have to do to get through this scene without dying. However, let's just try and headshot Claudia real quick. So yes, our first game over of the series, right at the end. How tragic. We can consider that the bad ending of the game, but, to get through that without dying, and yes, you have to do the specific thing in order to avoid death in that situation. You have to remember everything you have on your hands at this point, as well as remember the Aglaophatus book that we just so happened to read. The game did bring that back from the previous game for a very specific reason, so think about everything that we have for a moment. Think about, from the back of the beginning, what is an item that we've always had that we have not had any need to use up until now? Think about it. Think about it. If you're thinking the knife, well, that would be cute, but, no. It'd also be pretty karmic to use that on Claudia, considering how she killed Vincent. But no, it is not the knife. You got your answer yet? Well, let's, return to the final boss room, and since we've already seen the cutscene, we'll just mash the start button and skip right past that. The item you need to use to get through here without dying is the pendant. Remember, she's had to keep this with her whole life. It's super important. The little red tablet. And it's a lucky charm to never take off. Well, let's use it.
What are you doing?
Dad.
She is nearly here. Alessa, what have you done? What did you swallow? What is this?
Looks like God didn't make it. Stop!
God is...
Claudia!
Alessa, you
Well, I suppose we can't just turn tail and leave at this point, can we? Nah, of course not. Before we drop down in that hole to follow after Claudia, after her very, very questionable self-impregnation, I'm not really sure how eating a fetus is supposed to allow you to birth it, but, well, to be fair, Heather really shouldn't have vomited it up either, but, let's not dig too deeply into, the biology of a weird god hellspawn that acts more like a chest burster. Let's just jump in this hole and follow in after it. Gonna use an ampule there for the max stamina.
Can't be dead. I was gonna kill you. This is God?
Yes, we have the final boss fight against God. Starting the fight off, you want to fire 3 shots into it, then back up, then equip the katana. Wait for it to come down and do that swipe there, then run up and stab her 3 times. After the 3rd stab, immediately start backing up, and she's going to shoot out fire at you. This fire, when it gets to your position, it will then shoot out towards you. Once you have dodged the fire, you want to reload the handgun, re-equip it, and fire 4 shots into the god while strafing to the left. This will allow you to avoid fire that comes in as it shoots it at you. Then, once it returns back to position, we want to shoot it another 3 times, re-equip the katana, and then run in and get those 3 stabs. Looks like, yeah, screwed up a little bit there. Wasn't in the right positioning. But we're just going to stick to this rhythm here to make sure we don't take any needless damage. As we deal damage to the boss, the fire will move faster and faster, and the faster the fire moves, the more damage it deals. So, want to be very mindful of that. And once again, 4 shots will get it to go back up to the center like that. And then we just return to the katana. Now, if I were playing on a playthrough where I was using bullet adjust, I would instead empty a whole clip into it during the fire phase to get as much damage in as possible. But we do not have that many bullets, so I have to stick to the exact amount that we want to use there. Huh, strange, only shot 1 fire that time. Guess we're still in the early stages of the fight where it's not shooting too much fire. But yes, the rhythm will change a bit as you get through the fight. It'll shoot out fire at a much more rapid pace, and the fire itself will move a lot faster. So be mindful of that. But this is basically the how the fight will work for the entire thing, so get used to this pattern we're going to get into, because this fight goes on for quite a while, and this boss is actually extremely difficult on your first playthrough. As you can see, the fire is moving a lot faster now. Be mindful when it's coming towards you, because you do need to be a pretty specific distance amount from it to make sure you don't get hit by it. The hitboxes can be a little deceiving on it. And don't start strafing until you're certain it's past you, otherwise you'll take a hit that you do not need to. Now, it's pretty important to have maxed out stamina for this fight, so you want to make sure you have at least 2 ampules for it, because the fight is a little too greedy there. The fight does go on long enough that your previous ampule can time out, but yeah, look at all the damage we took from that. We came into this with full health due to the ampule. Now, if I had actually avoided the swipe there, I would have gone in for a couple more katana stabs there, because we would have had the opportunity to do so, but I got knocked on my rear end, so was not able to do so. Let's see if we can't pick up the rhythm again. It's a little easy to lose it and lose your ability to do as much damage as possible during the head phase. Okay, there we go. Okay, now the fire is starting to move really fast, so we definitely want to start strafing as soon as we hit that line. That circle, that black semicircle around the boss is a very good way to tell how far back you need to move. Whoops, I think I put in an extra bullet there. Yeah, nice little detail you can notice is that Claudia's robe, from where her body became a part of God, is still right in its face there, which I think is just a little interesting thing. Alright, so let's back up. Okay, gonna go for 2 more stabs there since I got the swipe when was able to avoid it. Might have been able to go for a 3rd there, but probably not, so better to not risk it. Now that the fire is moving super fast, earlier in the fight, you could actually re-equip the handgun as before the flame came out, but now it's moving so fast, you really do not want to be slowing yourself down. Now, one thing I would like to point out is for the PC version, that melee swipe right there, for whatever reason, to the right of the boss's head, there is a little dead zone where that arm swipe will just pass right through you. Also, because I'm not able to actively monitor my stamina here, don't need to equip that, I actually do want to make sure I just top off my ampule before I have a chance to run out and start moving slow, because otherwise I will take a ton of damage that I do not need to. Get those 4 shots in to get it back up, and then another 3 shots to get it back down. Oh, didn't register as much damage as possible. But yeah, you can win this fight in like a minute and 30 seconds on the PC version because of the safe zone by the boss's head. You just strafe after 3 stabs, then strafe back. Oh, didn't time that properly, so you just have to eat the hit there. We're gonna wait for it to shoot fire, and then just strafe all the way to the right. Sometimes it's a good idea to just move forward just a smidge to adjust your positioning so you don't hit the wall and then just immediately stop. Oh, started strafing too early there and took a flame hit that I did not need to, but that's okay. This is kind of what we've been saving all our healing items for, after all. I have been able to do this fight with no damage. Also, I'm kind of losing track of my bullets here. Okay, so let's do 3 shots here. Getting a little too wrapped up in the gunfire there. And get our katana back out, our handy-dandy 2 feet of Hanzo steel, and go for those stabs here. But yes, I have done this fight perfectly before, but it's very easy to end up taking a ton of damage on this fight. Also, when I did do it perfectly, I used a safer version of the katana strat where I only went for 2 stabs instead of 3, which allows you to much more consistently avoid getting hit by the fire and the arm swipe. I'm getting a little too wrapped up in my shooting here and going for more shots than I really need to. But yeah, to hit it with the 3 stabs, you kind of need to start moving as the swipe is passing your positioning. Yeah, I was a little too late there. I kind of figured I would be. Let's just always make sure that we're in good health here. Like I said, we're past the point where we need to worry about hoarding any healing items, so let's just use everything we've got. Wait for the fire to come. Yeah, look at how fast that comes. And that fire hits ridiculously.
Is that the end? I guess it's time to roll the credits.
you're still alive.
Heather,
Just a joke.
you've got terrible
I'm
taste.
sorry.
Heather, did
You
you...
don't have to call me that. I'm not hiding anymore.
You want me to use your real name? What was it again?
Cheryl. The name my father gave me.
You gonna let your hair color go back too?
I don't know. Don't you think blondes have more fun?
Spoke of tortured souls, so outrageous the toll.
And that's the end of Silent Hill 3. Now, unlike the previous games, while there are multiple endings, you can only get one specific ending on your first playthrough, which is the one we just got. There are only 2 more endings in this game, both of them New Game Plus exclusives, as I've been saying. One of them is a serious but rather unoptimistic ending, and the other is a joke ending. It was, of course, the game's obligatory UFO ending. But that is where our first playthrough ends. Now, upon clearing the game, you unlock Extra New Game, and in Extra New Game, you'll get some bonus weapons depending on a couple factors. One factor is if you killed the boss with a gun or a melee weapon. If you killed the boss with a gun, which we did, you will not get anything. But if you manage to kill it with a melee weapon, you will get the infinite submachine gun. Now, because my rhythm was thrown off in that fight, I accidentally got the kill with the gun instead of the katana. But if you follow my strategy and you don't miss it all, the katana instead will get the damage to kill the boss first, and that will unlock a very useful weapon for you. The next 2 weapons are the flamethrower and the beam saber. Both these weapons kind of stink, honestly, and we'll go over why when we actually cover them. But you get one or the other depending on whether you had more shooting kills or fighting kills throughout the game. Fighting kills being any kill you got with a melee weapon or a stomp, and a shooting kill is obviously any kill you got with a gun. Depending on which is higher, you will have gotten either the flamethrower for shooting kills or the beam saber for fighting kills. On your first playthrough, you will almost certainly get the beam saber because it is more likely you're going to be using the katana a lot and getting a lot of fighting kills, just because ammo is so rare. And then once you have bullet adjust, you can much more easily shoot for the flamethrower. There are a couple more secret weapons, which I'll go over when they become pertinent, but I just wanted to go over the ones that we unlock now. Additionally, once you have Extra New Game unlocked, you will unlock the costume function, which you can enter secret passwords, which are either locatable in-game, through a solvable puzzle, for completing the game and getting certain results, and many of them were promotional codes, either released in the official game guide or in relevant websites, or in gaming magazines. One thing to note about the passwords that came from gaming magazines is that they were actually removed from the PC version, probably due to licensing rights expiring. So the PS2 version actually has a little bit of extra content in it, as far as extra costumes go, and at the risk of sounding like a corporate shill, some of these shirts actually do look kind of cool, and it's kind of a shame to see them gone from the PC version. As far as I know, there's no, like, restoration mod for them or anything. But that is Silent Hill 3, my favorite game in the series. I find this one to just be so fun to play, and it has just some of the best graphics in a PS2 game, I think. Admittedly, it is disappointing that they recycled a bit of content from Silent Hill 2 to get the game finished, but I still really appreciate this game. Sorry I hit the table there. And I'm so glad to have been able to show it to you. Now, obviously, we're going to go over all of the extra new game content, showing off all the weapons. Like the previous games, I've already recorded a 10-star run, and this game was definitely one of the hardest to get a 10-star playthrough for two specific categories, which I'll go over that in my typical breakdown for the ranking categories and how you are supposed to get a perfect rank. So look forward to that. But before we get to that, we also want to go over, of course, all the new extra game content, all of the additional endings, and I want to show off Extreme X mode in some capacity. I may just do a streamed playthrough of the game, where I'll likely do extra new game with bolt adjust, but not use any of the special weapons. Though honestly, the only special weapon that I feel is any good is the unlimited submachine gun. The other ones are kinda not that great. But look forward to that when we get to it. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, though, goodbye.